There we go. We're live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Link Cable podcast, the best way to stay linked to everything video games. I'm one of your hosts, Alex. I'm joined today by Zahi, Jacob, and Kevin.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So, Jacob, what are we going to be discussing today?
Yeah, so today we'll take a quick turnaround talking about GTA 5 going on the Epic Games Store, the unveiling of Ghost of Tsushima during the State of Play, and the unveiling of the Unreal Engine 5. But before we get into all that, we'll take a moment to speak about the games we've played since we didn't do it last week. So if somebody wants to get started on that, please go ahead.
Well, I'll jump in, and I totally forgot to say my line because I'm watching everybody's volume lines here. Go ahead and watch us on YouTube and on Twitch. We're live right now. Come chat with us. Say what's up. Yell, argue, disagree with us. Have some fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll have some... I have some controversial things to say, so stay tuned to that.
Ooh.
Now that'll be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. So I'll get started then with what I've been playing this week, because it's really not been a lot. It's been a rather busy week for other projects right now, so not a whole lot of gaming has happened. But today I did hit a bit of a milestone. So it's Sunday, and I like to sleep in on Sundays, which has been a bit of a problem because I am an Animal Crossing player, and Daisy May, the turnip salesperson, only visits on Sunday mornings, and usually I'm up in the morning, but I'm getting breakfast ready, getting ready for my day, and today is the first day that I've been able to buy turnips in Animal Crossing, and I am stoked because I am convinced that I am now about to become a billionaire in that game.
A billionaire on turnips.
Yeah. So for the folks who don't know, I don't know if everyone Zai, you seem shocked at this idea, so let me explain it.
Please.
So, turnips, they're called the stock market. It's like a turnip stock. Haha. And so you can sell turnips for in-game currency that is, some days it's worth more than what you paid for, which is what I'm really hoping for, and some days they're worth less than what you paid for, which means you lost. The pressure is after a week, so on next Sunday they expire, they rot essentially, which is good. I think it's the only way to get ants in Animal Crossing. So if you want to finish the museum, that's how you get ants.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, but anyway, so now I bought. It was my first time buying it. I'm not incredibly rich in Animal Crossing yet, so I bought about 100,000 bells worth. Bells being the game money worth of turnips. I basically emptied my bank account, and I'm just all in on the stock market. So it was a pretty exciting morning. I was up, like I was saying in the pre-show to you guys, I was up at 5 a.m. Which is kind of when I woke up today.
For your daily turnips.
My daily turnip, and I was
My God.
I was like, I could play it, and I just played Animal Crossing all morning, and I was like, I am loaded with turnips. I'm going to finally be able to fund all my grandiose ideas for my island.
So with all these turnips you get, do you belong to any Facebook groups or Reddit groups or anything where they talk about who's got the prices selling for super crazy 700 bells or something like that per turnip? Yeah,
I am definitely in a couple of Reddit groups.
My wife is too, and she's very addicted. She's like, I need to go to this person's island and go sell my turnips. I'm like, you don't even know these people? These strangers are going to now?
Yeah, it's all about the bells. And so I bought it 108 was my buy price. So if I can end up anywhere, if I can sell for 500 or 700 would be fantastic. If I could get a 700K out of these things, I'd be so happy. So
this game sounds a little too real. Selling stock market turnips and crashing the economy.
You got to pay off your loan for your mortgage, and you've got to do development work on your island. It's very mundane things just wrapped in a nice little fun bow. So I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I've also it's a bit odd. I've gone back to the 3DS of all systems. I played a little bit of
portable.
Well, it's so nice. Those games are good. The 3DS
are good, man. Yeah, it had good titles.
And it was easy to dismiss the 3DS when the Switch came out because it's now I have this HD portable thing that I can take with me, and like I could plug it into the TV if I want. But no, there's some really fun games on 3DS. So I went back and I've been playing Pokemon Sun, which is here's the first controversial thing I'm going to say of the day. It's not the most controversial, I think, but it's probably the first one I'll say today. Pokemon Sun and Ultra Sun are the best generation of Pokemon games.
Okay, back that up.
Yeah, I have never played past Silver and Gold and Crystal. I guess
those are good. Those are very good.
So I can't disagree. Like everything, like X and Y, Moon and Silver. Like I can't say if they're good or bad. I still really love the old Silver and Gold era.
I'll disagree with Alex.
Okay, what's your reasoning? Why do you think this is so great? Tell me.
They were the first Pokemon game, or like the first Pokemon games to have both the nostalgic elements that have always been there. Like you talk about Gold and Silver, those are very retro classic games that are of their time, but you go back and play them today, they're slow, they're methodical, they don't have any of like that that oomph, right? That modern flair. And then they just kept building on Pokemon through the generations, through Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, Black and White 2. They kept adding on to things, and X and Y as well. And then they added, when we got to Sun and Moon, it was like, it's all coming together. The online is perfect. Like the online in Sun and Moon is exactly what you...
Are you playing?
What we had been building to.
Ultra. Sorry to bump in, but are you playing Ultra or the regular Sun?
So I'm playing Sun and Ultra Moon right now. Like this week I've been playing Sun specifically, but I have an ongoing file in Ultra Moon as well.
Okay.
Is there a difference between the versions? Not between Sun and Moon, but I mean between Moon and Ultra Moon? Yeah. Yeah,
so Ultra Moon, well, the Ultra games are kind of like how Crystal was to Gold and Silver.
So it's like the
other version. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is a completely different story. It's a bit more of a reimagining of that story. It's like it's a bit like Majora's Mask in that sense, where these are the same characters as they were before, but it's different. Like the world is different, the plot is different, but it's the same people kind of going through it. But yeah, I just felt like, and I didn't feel this way until Sword and Shield came out. When Sword and Shield came out, I realized how much had been lost from the Sun and Moon generation of games. So that's my first controversial statement of the night, is that Sun and Moon is the definitive Pokemon generation. I like it, not to say anything against the older ones. Like you look back at like the first gen, the second gen, those games were like, they're classics. They're untouchable in that sense. They're just really hard to go back to today. Like if you want to play a second gen game, I really think you should play Heart Gold and Soul Silver instead of Gold and Silver. Play the remakes, don't play the original.
Yeah.
They're better games. They have more quality of life improvements. They had online. Their online is shut down at this point, but they're more pleasant playing experiences. And yeah, I feel like playing Sword and Shield on the Switch, I feel like it lost a lot from Sun and Moon. But that's what I've been playing. So Animal Crossing and going back to the 3DS, I am really, really looking forward to in a week or so, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I will be talking your ears off about that game.
I'm actually really excited to hear for your commentary on that.
I did watch a bunch of other YouTube videos.
How many times have you beat that game already?
The original Xenoblade Chronicles?
Just all of the remakes that were on the 3DS one, so you played it twice? That's a long-ass game, too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first time I played it on Wii, I didn't put in a full... I finished the game. I didn't do like 100% completion run. And then the second time I played it again on Wii, I did a full 100% completion run.
Nice.
Which was about 150 hours or so.
God.
And then...
Okay, did you play the second one?
Yes.
Did you? How do you compare that? Is it as good? Is it worse? Is it?
It's different. So are we talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 2,
yes,
Switch one?
Not the Wii U one. Pretend that one I don't know about, which I don't. The actual second one that came out on the Switch.
Yeah, the second one, the one that came out on Switch it's a very different game. It's it's almost a rhythm game in a sense, where it's like the combat has an ebb and a flow to it, where it's like you're trying to chain your things together in a rhythm.
Okay.
Whereas Xenoblade 1 is a lot of strategy placement, and you're trying to attack in a good, or do your arts in a good timing. But the rhythm of when you do it is not as important. Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a lot of like, all right, like it just flows from one to the other, and there's this nice kind of rotation to it all. I love them both. Xenoblade 1 is a bit more traditional as far as RPG stories go, whereas Xenoblade 2, it feels almost like it's ripped out of an anime, which we were saying in the pre-show, I love anime. Like I watch anime all the time. But Xenoblade 2 really leans into that, whereas Xenoblade 1 is a lot more of like, this is a traditional video game story in that sense. So that's how I would describe them. Xenoblade X, I don't want to take over the whole conversation because it will be 2 hours of just me talking about Xenoblade.
We should do that someday.
Oh, when the definitive edition comes out, I'll have tons to say about it. So when Xenoblade X is a really, really good Wii U game. It's not as, I don't want to say I didn't like it anywhere near as much as the other ones. It's very, very different. It's almost a spin-off in a lot of ways, where it's like hard sci-fi almost. Like, I don't want to say hard sci-fi in a sense, because it does have fantastical elements to it, but it is much more sci-fi than fantasy. Like instead of using like my magic art blast, it's like I have a gun, it shoots a bullet, it does damage. Like it's more like I have a sword, I put a special thing in it's like materia in my sword that will do more damage to you. Like it's like, okay, it's that kind of thing. So and I put and I'm really proud of this because I have 100% completion in Xenoblade X as well. That one was about 250 hours. So that's a very long game if you want to go 100% completion.
Wow.
Which, unfortunately, right now, it's Xenoblade X is one of the very few games that relied on Miiverse.
Really?
Yeah, it was. They had this really weird setup where you had your kind of like public communications channel which was Miiverse, and on Miiverse people can kind of meet up and share quests together. And those quests were the ones that would give you the rare materials that you need to craft the gear to fight the level 99 monsters. And without Miiverse, you can still do it, but at a single player grind, like 250 hours would be nothing. Like it would be like 4 times. Like you get up to 1,000 hours in this game. It's really built around that social element, which I think is actually one of the reasons why it hasn't come to Switch yet, is that there's a big chunk of the game that is built around this social element that isn't possible really on what the Switch has right now. So it's also,
maybe they can retool it, find some other way to switch, if capability wise, if it can kind of modify those features to it. It seems like a lot of groundwork.
I would hope so. It's a very good looking game, even like for a Wii U game from I want to say 2015. It's a very, very good Wii U looking Wii U game, so it would look fine on the Switch. It does use the gamepad a lot, so it has a lot of gamepad elements to it that are you'd have to bring over to the Switch in a way. And I typically don't really like when, for a lot of the games that were on Wii U that have now come over to the Switch, I find they lose something when they don't have the gamepad. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, for example, really use the gamepad in a neat and interesting way, and on the Switch it doesn't have it. Super Mario Maker, I think it was 2 or 3 episodes ago, I went on another rant about how it is better on Wii U because it has the gamepad. On the Switch, it's not the same, right? So, but yeah, so that's what I've been playing and what I'm about to play, I guess. I am really looking forward to Xenoblade. My copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake did show up, and I haven't even played it. So all those
After
weeks
all
of
that.
me kind of, all those weeks of me, I can't wait to get it. I can't wait. I want to give that game the time it deserves, and I don't want to just play like the first 20 minutes and then be like, I have no time to do it. So hopefully very soon. I have real quick before I stop monopolizing this conversation. I have been playing more Splatoon 2 again.
Really?
because on
I played some
this
of that last week too. How funny! I don't know why I randomly started playing it.
So it's good. It's good that you're training up because this upcoming weekend, so next weekend, Nintendo's bringing back an official Splatfest. They're doing ketchup versus mayonnaise again,
Oh.
which was one of the first Splatfests in the Splatoon 2. So there hasn't been a Splatfest, an official one, in over a year at this point. After they did the final one, which was the I always butcher the pronunciation, Splatpocalypse. It was Chaos
Amazing.
versus Order. It was a very epic, kind of world-changing event in that game, and now they're just bringing back a fun one, but it's really cool. Like, this is an official thing. The community, like on Reddit and on like the internet, is like alive again, so it's really nice to see. And I'm going to play in that Splatfest. I really hope that I'd be able to stream it for you guys. That's kind of something I'd like to do. So yeah, Splatoon 2, it's one of my favorite games of this generation so far. Obviously, I'm playing a lot of Nintendo games. It's just kind of the way things are breaking down right now. But yeah, Splatoon 2 is this weekend. If you can log on and find the time for it, definitely do it. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
So I will go next. I kind of made a little list so I didn't forget everything as you were talking. So
Nice.
I had a interesting week. I finally finished Dragon Quest IV on the DS.
Nice.
So I'm finally done with that.
Good.
Very nice.
Took quite a while. Right after I finished that, I booted up Dragon Quest V in the DS, and instantly was like, you know what? I need a little break from this kind of game. So I turned that off, and I moved on to Trials of Mana on the Switch, which is a little bit more fast-paced versus the slow turn-based stuff like Dragon Quest was. Has anybody else played Trials of Mana at all? The remake that just came out?
I've played the demo.
The demo?
Yeah, same here. I played the demo. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this game at all. I never played the original that was on, I think, Super Nintendo or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't play. Well, I think that one only came out in Japan, and then they had a remake
Right.
of it that came out on the Switch. Right? Is that how it is?
Yep, that's
Okay,
exactly.
so
how it
I hadn't played
We
anything.
never
I
got-
didn't even play the demo.
Yeah.
So I went into this completely clueless. I log into the game, start playing, and you pick 3 characters out of 6 to have your party. And there's a guy named Kevin. And it totally threw me off that this like fantasy world with all these other fantasy names. There's like Reese and something else, and then like Kevin. I'm like, the hell? He's like some Beastmaster guy, and I'm like, and I wasn't gonna pick him because wasn't interested in his like background about it. I'm like, I have to. I don't think I'll ever play a game like this again where his name's Kevin. So I picked him as my main character, and then some other random.
Hell yeah.
And it's pretty fun. I'm very,
Go
very
Kevin.
surprised by how interesting and fun this game is. It's like simple. It's a little confusing. I had to watch a couple YouTube videos of like how to use the magic system and stuff because they didn't really explicitly say, hey, you have to level up certain points or 2 certain points to get certain spells. And it was a little bit weird. I felt they could have cleaned that up a little bit. But otherwise, it's been surprisingly
That sounds
fun.
old school, though.
It's fun. It's
Can I ask
it's
you a
perfect
question?
on the Switch. Yeah, go for it.
How awful is the voice acting?
It's bad. It's really bad. But
Yeah.
like, so
I heard-
the guy
I heard.
the guy Kevin, the main guy, I don't know if he's supposed to just be like pretending like English is his second language and he just learned it because he's hurt. They are hurt? Why hurt? And I'm just like, oh, like it's bad. And then the girl Angela, she's in my party too. The other one with like a normal name you've heard before. She's just like a whiny little brat. She's like, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to. I have to do it in this outfit. I'm like, Jesus, I don't. So I don't really care that much. Usually I'm listening to a podcast or listening to music or something if I'm playing, and I'm not really paying attention to the story because it seems very like silly in general. Like I was like, oh, this is like some big epic story. I'm getting into it, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, jump in this cannon and we're gonna shoot you across the world. I'm like, what? What's happening here?
Yeah.
So it's different, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really good game to just zone out and not have to pay attention to it at all.
Good.
So outside of that, I tried to finish up. I had some goals in World of Warcraft I wanted to do for myself. They have, I don't know if you guys are WoW players at all or anyone listening, but they have 100% experience boost and 100% rep bonus for a majority of the reps right now. So I tried to get through and unlock some of these allied races, which Blizzard put out, that they're new races that are similar-ish to the races that already exist, but they have a few different racial abilities and they look a little bit different and they're kind of cool. But you had to do a bunch of rep grinding and certain quest lines and stuff to get it unlocked. So I went and unlocked 3 of them over the last month, and I finally achieved the last one I wanted to do before, I think the 18th, which is the last day of the bonus for everything. I unlocked the Volpera, which is like a fox race. So I feel pretty good about that. I think I'm going to.
I gotta look that up. I love foxes are like one of my
they're
favorite
really
animals.
Cool looking. They're part of the horde, and they're just like foxes. And I play a panda hunter, or no, sorry, I play a panda shaman right now, and I kind of want to switch away from the panda because it's just I'm the butt of every joke, and with everyone I ever play with.
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to switch to a fox. Originally, my shaman, who's been my main for a very long time in WoW, was a Draenei on the Alliance, but then during Warlords of Draenor expansion, a couple expansions ago, all my friends decided to switch to Horde characters, so I didn't want to give up on this guy, so I swapped over and just did a faction change and jumped over to being Panda, because I was like, well, if I'm a Panda, I can kind of pretend I'm a little bit Alliance, because they can be either or, so that was my logic. Right. So I finished up with that in WoW, and then the last little bit of my week, I jumped back into SteamWorld Quest.
Oh, cool.
It's if you guys aren't familiar, it's like a card turn-based RPG, pretty light on gameplay mechanics and stuff, but it's pretty fun. I'm about a third of the way, half of the way-ish through the game, and I'm kind of just picking up, trying to finish it. Jeff, one of the guys we had on before as our co-host, he finished it pretty recently and got me excited to go back and finish it up.
Nice.
So yeah, that was mostly what I played. The one big thing I was excited about this week, which we're actually going to talk about, like the Epic Game Store stuff and all the deals that have been going on. But the one deal they had where you're giving out pretty much just $10 gift cards every time you spend like $15 or more. So I finally purchased Control, which I'm very excited to play. Jeff again had just finished Control and just has been talking about it the last couple weeks to me and some of my friends, and has got me really pumped to play that game. So I ended up getting it for $20, which is like the sweet spot I wanted to pay. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm excited, and that I really wanted to play it on PC because I heard it looked beautiful. So yeah, that was my week. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, not playing too much. I mean, I invested most of my week playing Raid Shadow Legends.
You're still obsessed with that game. You know,
yeah.
You're not the only person, Jake. I've heard. I was just talking to someone today, was saying how good that game is. I'm like,
this video has not been sponsored. I just want to make that very clear to everyone listening.
Can we get some sponsors, please? Yeah. Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. So, and it all started out as a joke about like 3-4 weeks ago too, where just like. I was like to the point where I'm like just sick and tired of seeing those commercials, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see what this game's all about, and like I haven't been able to put it down, and like my phone battery just cannot keep up at this point.
Is this your first like free to play mobile type game like this before? Have you ever played any game that's like this?
Oh no, I have. Yeah, it's just from the commercials and like from like the sponsorships,
the hamminess of it.
Yeah, it seemed like they were kind of like hiding something.
Like
just
it's
like you know, like
hiding the fact that this game is going to take away your life and want.
Yeah,
you to
well,
like
money. The automatic like Clash of there's like Clash Royale, whatever, like those type of like mobile games. Mm-hmm. It kind of seemed like that at first, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like they're hiding something. So I want to see what they were hiding, and then I'm like 40 hours into it, I'm like, oh, this is actually a pretty good game. But I've been playing other things as well. I spent most of my week playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, nice! How have you been liking it?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've put like about 30 or so hours into it, so I'm getting towards the end. Really excited, hoping to have a review up at some point. I mean, it's really good. I don't want to give too much away, so we'll wait for the sponsored reviews to show up.
We made fun of it a whole lot because it has 2 titles. I remember when we were watching it, me and you and Jacob at E3, and they were like, Horizon, and we're like, oh, Horizon, cool. And then Zero Dawn, and we're like, wait, what? Like, you have 2 titles to your game. Yeah. I was just, but it looks, I haven't had a chance to play it, but it looks really, really good.
I never remember the name of that game either. Anytime I go to reference it, I always go, oh, Heavenly Sword, that's that game, right? That girl with the hair? And then I'm like, no, wait, that game came out a long time ago.
It's Bayonetta, the girl with the hair.
Yeah, I guess true. That's a woman with hair. Can't say girl because that'd be creepy with the way she dresses in that game.
Yeah.
Touché.
Voluptuous.
Yeah. But so Raid, Horizon, and I got back into Mortal Kombat 11 just after they made the trailer with RoboCop. Like that just I bought the DLC. I'm like I love playing as Spawn. I love playing as Terminator.
Yes.
I don't like playing as Joker. But now like RoboCop's into it. I'm like, yeah, like it's a good time to go back to and like the sort of expansion ish to the game that's coming out on the 26th. It's all free. I'm not sure if the characters are free,
Yeah,
but I know
probably
like this.
not.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not.
I
But,
hate to admit this to that, but I don't know anything about RoboCop at all. I saw that he was coming, and I don't know anything about him. I know he's something to do with Detroit, and that's bad because that's where I'm from, and everyone's in love with RoboCop, and there's like a statue of him here. But I've never seen the movie.
There's a
and
statue of RoboCop.
that's what I've heard.
Detroit.
I've not seen this. Maybe
Legit.
I gotta look this up. Is there
I
a
swear that I've heard that that's a true thing. I swear, RoboCop statue.
I'm looking it up. I want
I
to see if
swear
this is
that-
true.
Again, I don't know. It says, yeah, RoboCop statue is done after 9 years.
Yeah.
Where's this thing at? Maybe I should go and just start taking some
This-
pictures at it.
This is amazing. I want to see this.
It's at the Michigan Science Center. It looks like it's been taken
Okay.
down. It's not there
Oh,
anymore.
okay, well,
Boo.
that was a thing for a while at least. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should watch just movies. So it makes more sense.
Mhm.
I
RoboCop's
don't
a
play
good
much
movie.
Mortal Kombat at all either, but it does look
Not a
cool.
fighting game player?
I mean, yeah, to me it's like, oh, this is a fun game if I'm really bored and it's cool for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. See, I can't play it like I'm not a good Mortal Kombat player, but I still enjoy playing it. So, but yeah, no, I played a lot of that, and just yesterday I got back into Smash,
Yes.
and
Now that's a fighting game
know-
I can get behind.
yeah, and
But
just,
is it a fighting game?
oh well, yes it is.
I consider Smash definitely
Yeah,
to be
it's a
fighting.
competitive fighter. People play
Yeah.
that competitively.
Masahiro Sakurai disagrees.
Wow, you were just full of bad statements tonight, Alex.
Isn't I heard about that disagreement actually.
Yeah. He
It
thinks
was
he
it's
calls
arcadey.
he calls it a party game.
Yeah.
It's a great party game. It's a fighting game though.
But yeah, so played a lot of Smash, and it was funny because I usually main Dark Samus. Had a hard time playing online. Then I like tried some other characters, and for some reason, just like playing with Luigi just stuck. Like
You're playing
I
hard
just-
time playing online, like because the online sucks, or because it was just getting your ass kicked.
oh no, it's just because I haven't played
Okay.
in so long. So yeah, it was like
I have not gotten into Luigi as a character,
Oh.
man. I just do not get that guy.
oh no, like I like tore like everybody apart. And like I was telling Alex yesterday on the phone, like the last match I played, the final stock I got on the guy was like literally taunting him to death. Like I just taunted him off the ledge. I was
No.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is yeah. So I've been able to play a lot more Smash and like start using Luigi a lot, and hopefully we can have a stream up of that there at one point of just playing Smash and
Hell yes.
Yeah, a Smash Brothers stream would be really fun. I think.
It'd be fun if we all four of us could get in there and play and see who the real Smash
yeah,
player
definitely.
is.
Oh,
It's not me.
there's no Yu-Gi-Oh cards on the line, so I don't know how good I'll be. So
Yeah.
When my pride is on the line, oh, it turns into a fight.
yeah.
I'm gonna see who's the best one.
It's not pride. It's me losing cards or like hockey
Yeah.
cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever, Pogs or whatever we put on the line.
For the people who have no idea what the hell we're talking about, me and Jacob grew up together, brothers, and me being the big brother, I bullied him into betting his best Yu-Gi-Oh cards on Smash games, but he got better at it than me, so we stopped playing Smash for a while. It's
Yeah, I couldn't afford to lose Terran Dragon, so
a very good card. I hate
it is
that
a good
card.
That's not good anymore, but yeah, it was a good card back in the day. But yes, please go ahead to tell us what you've been playing.
Actually, I've had a really productive gaming week. So I have just so everyone knows, I recently graduated my college program, and I'm taking some time off. Yeah, I'm taking some time off extra to game and finish backlogs before I start work again.
Right.
So I actually this week I played and beat, because I heard it was leaving the Games Pass, Doom 2016.
Ooh.
There we go.
Nice.
So I rocked out Doom
Mhm.
almost every night, beat all 13 levels. Damn, that game was fun. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
And and just like the music, and I have my headsets on, and all I'm hearing is like, it was amazing. I was like, Cyber Demons. I'm playing, and my friends are also online with me playing Apex and shit. And here I am in the back. I'm like, oh Jesus, Cyber Demons! Cyber Demons everywhere! And they're like freaking them out. So yeah, Doom was. I never got a chance to play Doom because it came out right when I was in school, so I just got a little preoccupied. But that was a really fun title. I'm really glad I actually got to finish it before it left Games Pass.
Are you going to jump into Doom Eternal?
That's exactly why, because I really want to play Doom Eternal.
I really want to play Doom.
Oh man, it looks metal as fuck.
Oh, so
I really want to play that.
Yeah, it is metal as fuck. That's how we should have named our review.
Yeah.
Raining Blood was not hardcore enough.
So that's just but I want to get a PC, and I want to play Doom Eternal on PC just because of how like quality wise how well it'll look compared to what I have on my PS4 or Xbox One X. But the other two quick little games I've been joining on the side. So as per a recommendation from one of our former hosts, Jeff, I got really into Hollow Knight. And
that's good.
Have any of you guys played Hollow Knight?
Yeah, I have.
I've heard. Okay.
So Jeff's had a great review of this game, and he loves it. And I was, I like it. It's just hard. I think that's my biggest complaint. Is I think the game is fun. It's just really hard, and it's hard to know where you're going because it's a dark world, and you get lost easily, and I get frustrated. Yeah. So let's see what you thought about it. I like it. Oh, I see Jeff in the chat is going, hell yes, and he's very happy because he loves Hollow Knight. So what are your thoughts about it? I'll let you keep talking.
So I've been after now that Sekiro is done and there isn't really much on Elden Ring. I'm kind of looking to find some more Souls-esque games. So one of my first articles on Link Cable, if we recall correctly, was Salt and Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
What's it called?
Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh, I thought you said Salt and Sexuality. I was like, what?
Salt and Sexuality.
What kind of games were you guys reviewing before I joined here?
It's been fun parties. Alex and Jacob know. No. Salt and Sexuality.
Sexuality.
Sweet.
All right, go on.
That's the episode title now, isn't it?
Reverse Oreo this. Salt and Sanctuary was like a Souls-esque game, but it was combat-wise, it was really like
it's dark. 2D, right?
Yeah, it's 2D, and same with Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight, you're basically this little protagonist. I think he's like an ant or something. I'm not too sure. He's definitely a form of insect. So all of Hollow Knight is like set underground, except for just like the top level of soil. So it's really like atmospheric because you go deeper into the levels, and there are places where the map's not lit up, and you have to get like find like treasure maps from vendors to unlock further in. But if you go forward, your map kind of auto completes depending on how far you went in, so you can kind of keep track. And there's like little things like buttons and stuff you can kind of put on your actual map to say, okay, this was a train station, this is a fast travel station, etc. I beat so far about 3 or 4 bosses, and the game the music is just so, it's such a pretty game. I know it's a weird way to quantify it. It's visually just so both relaxing, but also a little kind of gross at times. Because like the enemies are like bug creatures, and they kind of make like poop noises when they die. So the little Hollow Knight guy, he's like 5 foot nothing, but like he's fighting like really giant bug creatures. But it's really funny. Sometimes when you kill certain enemies, they make sounds like they go poop, like. And I have it on the headset, so that's why it just kills me. But yeah, no, Hollow Knight's been a really great ride so far. I really want to beat it actually. But the last game I've been enjoying so far is Fallout Wastelanders. So Fallout Wastelanders just came out for on the Xbox One X for free for the weekend, and I think it's extending until Monday. So me and my buddy have actually been playing a bit of Fallout Wastelanders.
What is this? I'm trying to. Oh,
Fallout
Fallout
76.
76. That's.
Fallout
Yeah.
76.
I got excited for a second. I was like, oh, there's something new
Excuse me.
for Fallout. I missed it.
No,
And you put those
well,
two numbers in there, 7 and 6, and I'm instantly uninterested.
no, you know what? So I never got a chance to play the original Fallout 76
And that's okay,
before.
because it was awful.
Yeah.
Everyone,
was.
that's what I hear from
We've
everyone.
got like 10 people watching right now live. If one person in our chat watching live can tell us that you enjoy Fallout 76 at all, I will be impressed.
So it's not so much Fallout 76. With the Wastelanders edition, it's basically like they went back and really re-RPG'd a lot of the game. So a lot of the...
Oh, they fixed it.
I don't
So,
know if that game's fixable, man. It's
You know
just
what?
was terrible.
So I was playing with my friend. So basically, I'm in his party, and he helped right from the get-go getting out of the vault. He helped set me up with, like, essentially you can create your own like house or like stationary area.
Okay.
So rather than going through the slog of getting the crafting materials, building a place, he kind of just joined my party and built me like a really sweet crib. It even it's got a workbench, it's got an armor kit, my crib is popping. So it's got paintings up on the wall. I'm like, yeah, I could live here. And it's really cool. It's like overlooking the side of a mountain with like giant buildings and like a waterfall in the background. I'm like, this is dope. But visually, Appalachia is really, really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of graphical problems. Like there are a lot of times when I couldn't jump on things, or my friend Colin's face was like textualized and it was blurry and blue for some reason.
It's just
The
like
drawback.
less fun Animal Crossing. You're like, I like the decorations, the environment, but I can't view my friends because they look weird.
But like,
You have a mortgage.
do you have not yet?
Are you selling turnips?
It's just I haven't sold any turnips yet. But no, just like visually the game is really fun. Mechanically, there are some places where it could be improved. But from what I've seen so far, it's been like I've enjoyed like them adding NPCs into it. I've never had it where there were no NPCs, so I can't be the guy that says, "Oh yeah, it's so much better than before," And I think that's how I'm gonna move forward with it at least. But it's been funner. It's felt, how should I say, more Fallout than what people give it credit for. Almost like, I don't know, Fallout. It's got a Fallout 3, even New Vegas feel to it. And I've been kind of enjoying it as we've been playing.
Maybe you need to go back and play Fallout New Vegas again, because I don't think it's anything like this piece of trash game.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
New Vegas
I think Fallout 76 is like tied with Anthem as like the worst games I played in the last year or so, that I just want to be good, but are just so bad and just poorly put together and unplayable.
And I don't discredit that at all. I can see a lot of work where Fallout 76 especially had to do it. But, I've been having fun so far. Appalachia is really dense. Like, there is so much stuff to do. The map is full. But it's just some things I didn't really enjoy too much. The forced feature, of like hardcore mode in Fallout 3 and 4, or no, not 3. I don't think it was in 3. New Vegas and 4, where you had to monitor your water consumption and stuff. There was a lot of that into it, and I'm like, this is more for a hardcore gameplay, not, so much when you're starting off. There's a lot of stuff to learn in Fallout 76, like from the get-go. And I feel like it's a little detracting, but I had a buddy with me and he was helping me out through it. So I was pretty thankful for that. But once I got into like the main story of it and Appalachia kind of just opened up, it hasn't been too bad.
I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it, because I know we rip on it a bit, but I don't have any recent opinion on Fallout New Vegas. I am still thinking of when it launched. There was no NPCs. There was almost like you're talking about a dense world. And my opinion of Fallout 76 is that it had nothing to do. I played for 5 minutes. I was like, wow, this is 5 minutes. I played for like a few hours, and I was like, there's nothing to do in this game. So it sounds like they've improved it at least. So from my my opinion is of when I played it when it launched, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, mine
it does
too,
sound like
mine
it's
too, so
it sounds like it's improved in that regard. So
They've-
that's good to
they've-
hear.
They've added vendors and quest lines and a lot of things to kind of make it more Fallout-esque. And you can join essentially one of two like factions. Like I haven't really gotten to that part yet, but you can join like the Raiders, who have a pretty good sales pitch actually. Surprisingly enough, they're kind of like, we're Raiders, we know it, we're assholes, but hey, this is how it is, and might as well, what else are you gonna do? And I'm kind of going with that pitch. It's really selling me. I think I want to be a Raider in this game. Hell yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Those have been picks for the week.
Nice. All right. Cool. So moving on to the big events of this week. So we'll start with one that we already hinted at a bit. So the Epic Game Store got a new game. It's free. You can pick it up right now after listening. Don't pick it up now. Let's finish listening to the podcast and then go pick it up after.
don't
Come
forget,
back later.
only a few more days. I think.
Yeah, don't forget. Yeah, there's only a few more days. But so Grand Theft Auto 5 is now free on the Epic Game Store, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the Ultimate Edition. You get everything in this version. So it's a bit of a surprise. It did leak the night before. They tweeted it out. They took it down. News got out. But yeah, GTA 5, one of the best-selling games of all time, is now available for free. Are any of you guys picking it up? Have you already picked it up on EGS? What are your thoughts? GTA.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's been out for 7 years or something already. It came out in like 2013,
It's not a new
12,
game,
something like that. So I mean, it's been out for a while. I mean, has anyone here not played it? You guys, has anyone? Yeah, all of us have at least played it in some sense and some.
Yeah.
I already own the game.
Yep.
3 times? I have it on 360, Xbox
Yeah,
One,
right.
and on PC already on Steam. Or no, on the Rockstar Store. So now I have it on the Epic Game Store. So another way of the game I won't play. So I don't know. It's overall, outside of my just opinion about not being a huge fan of it, I think this is a huge deal because this is a big game, and even though it's old, they're giving it away for free, and they keep adding content for the online aspect of the game. And there's a lot of it going on that I think people should be excited for. But again, personally, I was like, meh. A game I already own 3 times is not that great, but I'll take it.
This kind of answers a few episodes ago. GTA 5 was being replaced. Was it on Games with Gold?
It was
It was replaced.
It was on.
Yeah,
no, not Games with Gold, it was on Game Pass. It was on Game Pass in January or February of this year. They took it off just recently, or about to take it off, and then they added Red Dead.
Just the
Redemption
other
2.
day.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So now
Kind of
that
answers as to why. Right?
Yeah. So kind of keep it free on all platforms, I bet. But I actually want to get into. I never got a chance to play Red Dead 2. And now that it's on Games Pass, that's really my next game that I want to try out. So I'm kind of happy that they are making it free and universal for everyone to kind of bring in some new fresh stock, right? Because Red Dead 2,
Stock,
it came
you
out
mean
in
turnips?
turnip socks. God, I hate Animal Crossing.
I'm
and what it's
going to
doing.
be so rich.
What it's doing to
So
you
okay,
guys.
away from Animal Crossing again. I'm sorry, my fault. So the whole Epic Game Store thing about adding this to it, and I think like the whole Epic, what's like the launcher, I guess it was the Epic Game Store launcher thing. They're doing a damn good job by trying to convince us to stop using Steam and use this. Like they've got so many exclusives. They've got so many free games. Like my library started with nothing. I didn't buy anything, and then all of a sudden, oh, here's a free game every week for a couple weeks. All right, now here's a free game that's a little bit bigger, maybe 2 free games every couple weeks. So every week I'm picking up all this random games, just building up a library. And now they're doing the sale where it's, I mentioned I got Control. It's I believe it's you spend $14.99 or more, and they'll give you a $10 coupon that you can continuously use. And you get one right off the back just for picking up GTA 5. So
nice.
You can just keep doing it over and over. And there's a lot of stuff on there that, if you don't have somewhere else already, it's not a bad price to pick up some of these things. And there's a lot of games on there. So I'm starting to lean towards Epic Game Store a little bit more, even though I don't love the launcher and you can't share the games like Steam and you can't do a couple other things. But it's they're starting to win people over because people like free shit.
Yeah.
It's
I was just gonna say, just recently ago, like Epic Game Stores was just lambasted in service and in quality and in UI. Has that changed a lot recently?
What do you mean, like the overall interface of it?
Just like public reception to the Epic Game Store was just not positive.
I think originally it was because there was always like misinformation about, oh, they're screwing developers over or they're doing this and that, and I don't really know what the truth is to that. I mean, I'm looking at it from my perspective. Is this easy to use? Does it work? Yeah, it's a little annoying because now I have to open up another launcher for stuff. But I do feel like because they're giving away free stuff, people do tend to like that. So the overall perception of this whole launcher has been like, okay, it's not so bad now. If you keep giving me free shit, I'll start using your stuff more and spend more money over there when you give me coupons. I will say, if everybody doesn't like having all these different launchers and everyone's getting annoyed by it, I totally get it. There is a thing called the Good Old Games launcher, and this thing has changed my life. I've gotten a few people to jump on board with me and download it. And what it is
again, this video is not sponsored.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, if you would like to sponsor us,
by Epic Game Store.
But you can take all of the different launchers. So you have your Origins for EA, you've got your Ubisoft, Uplay, you've got Steam, you've got Blizzard with Activision on Battle.net. You can open up this one launcher, the Galaxy 2.0, I think it's what it's called, from Good Old Games, and put in all those launchers and have one big launcher that opens up everything. And you can search, and you can connect your Xbox, your PlayStation, so all your free games you get on there. And you can literally, so like, okay, let's say I wanted to buy a game. I can go, do I own this game already somewhere? Did I get it for free? Do I have access to it on Game Pass somewhere? And you literally type the name in, and it shows you everything you have. It says owned, and it'll say, oh, it's on Game Pass. Go play it on there. You don't need to go buy this. And you can manually add games. So if you have a bunch of physical stuff, you can type it in. It brings up a cool little graphic of the game, no matter how old this game is. And you just click owned, and it puts it into your library and keep track of all your stuff. And when you type in to do it, you can search. It's so cool. I highly recommend everyone go check that out. I've been having so much fun. And you can chat with people across different things. So when people come on my an Xbox Live, I can chat with them on my computer while I'm on here and chat with those people. So I don't have to go log into that and do this. Yeah. So I highly recommend that.
We'll put a link to it in the description below.
That would be nice.
Want to check it out.
That would be a good idea. And then the last thing I want to say about Epic Game Store is the exclusivity that they keep getting with all their games. And they had Borderlands 3 for a year, which was big. They've had Control, I think, is still exclusive to that right now. There's all kinds of stuff coming. And Tony Hawk, the remake of Pro Skater 1 and 2, the full remake that's coming out later this year, Epic Game Store exclusive again. Which is crazy because I believe that's an Activision game, and they have their own launcher.
Activision has their own launcher?
Battle.net.
Oh,
So I know that I know they don't put all their games on there because it's mostly Blizzard games, and they have their extended library of supported partners, and I think it's all Call of Duty now since Destiny's gone.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a little strange that you do have access to a launcher of some sort, and you're putting it into now another store's launcher, probably for a ton of money to make it exclusive. But it's interesting.
The same thing happened with a bunch of Ubisoft games. The only one that wasn't sort of it was a free game for a while was For Honor. You download it off the Epic Game Store, but it brings you into the So that was a little bit strange. But all the other Ubisoft games that I've gotten off the Epic Game Store are just there. Yeah. So that's also another thing, right? Where it's will some of these stores start closing down because of how Epic is kind of taking over, and it's competing against Steam? And now we get into also the discussion where there's also PC exclusives now. You have to yes, these launchers are free, but you have to go and I have to open up a launcher to go play Grand Theft Auto now, rather than having to open up where all my thousands of games are on Steam right now.
Yeah, it's annoying, and it's. And you bring up a good point though. Is let's say the Uplay store decides to, we're done with the launcher game. We're gonna just sell games through Steam and Epic Game Store or whatever. What happens to all your games on Uplay? Are they gonna give you the rights digitally for them in these other stores, or are you just gonna lose them all?
Yeah.
So it's
remember CDs?
Scary. Yeah, I remember that.
Remember buying a CD, putting it in a disc, and then you got the game. It was, this whole launcher thing. I feel like it really snuck up on us. There was a time where PC gaming was Steam. That was Battle.net existed, but that was you wanted to play Warcraft essentially. and then it I said I would say controversial things, but as like over the years, everyone wants their own launcher. They want their own kind of infrastructure to build in, and it almost feels, at least to me, overnight, where you went from Steam, Battle.net, and now you have Uplay, GOG, you have EGS, you have all these things.
Launchers. Like I didn't realize how many there really were.
Origin too.
So not to plug the Galaxy launcher again, but if you go in there, it gives you like a list of all the things you can put in there, and there's so many. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have a game on Rockstar. Oh wait, the Bethesda launcher. I have ESO on there. Oh, I've got. It's like it is a little overwhelming because there's so many different things you have to go back and try to get. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah. And it was. I mean, it's kind of like someone maybe people listening, you've been playing PC games for a long time. PC is the open platform. It's the one where you get the game and you, for as much as possible, own that game. You could play around with the files if you wanted to. The modding community's always been nuts on PC, and now it feels like slowly but surely those rights that, as we've gotten as consumers, are being kind of eroded away and locked behind launchers. So it is I don't know. It's a changing infrastructure, right? Like it's where is PC gaming going in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? It used to be a very static place. It used to just be this is PC gaming. You buy a CD, you put it in, and you play your game. And now it's after that it was like, oh well, you just get it on Steam. And now it's like, well, you get Steam, you get this, you get that, you get this, and
it's a bit overwhelming.
It's extremely overwhelming. And then you have also Game Pass, which has Game Pass for PC. Like that is essentially another launcher. You have the Microsoft view into things. So
everyone wants you to come over to their own business.
Yeah,
because every time they sell their game, they're getting a cut of it. You're like, oh, if I sell it here, I'm getting this. If I'm selling it here, you're getting this. So it's money, but as a consumer, it just makes it annoying. You're like, okay. I mean, some of the stores are better than others too. Like, Epic Game Store is pretty straightforward. It's easy. Steam's obviously the most intuitive. I think we're all used to because we've had it for like 15 years. But then like the Windows Store, you use that and you're like, what's going on here? You go to launch games, you have to launch it in their little program that you need to have, and it's hard to do. Move it on a different screen, and they make it so like funky about everything. So I don't know.
All this to say that Grand Theft Auto 5 is now on the Epic Game Store. It's free, I believe, till, I don't want to get this wrong, so someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the 22nd?
I'm going to go with the sure, because I have no idea. If we're wrong,
it's not free forever.
Just yell at us
just make sure to pick it up if you're interested. It is a good game, no matter what you do play it on. So, and it's also it is a very good game to kind of benchmark your PC with as well. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to play it on max settings. It plays on lower settings as well. But if you want to push your PC to the limits, see how far it'll go. GTA 5 is it has a good, nice range of it can play on low settings and play on high settings. So check it out. You can't beat free, right? Like you're a couple of clicks away from playing it. Really,
it's actually the second time I got the game free because my Xbox One copy at Amazon. If you bought it, it was $14.99. You buy it, and then they give you a $15 gift card to your account. So they just keep trying to give this game away.
Well, I mean, everyone's bought it at this point, right? So, next thing we're going to talk about, we're going to stick with Epic Games for a little bit. We're going to talk about a certain tech demo they showed last week. For Unreal Engine 5. So this was something they showed during the one of the early events in the Summer Games Fest, is the one Jeff Keighley's running. Yep. And they sat down and they showed off this really impressive looking tech demo. If you haven't had a chance to see it, please finish listening to this podcast and then go watch it after, because it's really impressive what they're doing with lighting, what they're doing with billions of polygons are trying to screen at once. They're talking about triangles, which obviously is your geometry to make a thing, that are only the size of pixels, and that you can have billions of them on the screen. The thing was running buttery smooth. It was running on a PlayStation 5. They made a point of saying that. Unreal Engine 5 is coming to pretty much anything next gen. They say it's also going to come to current gen systems maybe a bit later once they've gotten it out on more powerful platforms. This demo is really our first. I mean, we saw a bunch of next gen games from Microsoft with the caveat that they were also coming to current gen systems for a lot of them. But this was a full on, like, this is what Epic Games is trying to sell developers on how they can build the games of the future. So I want to talk a bit about the demo, and I guess I wanted to ask you guys, I know it's just a demo, but would you ever want that to be a game? What they showed specifically, would you want to play that demo?
Is it not going to be a game that is
not going to be a game? It is a tech demo.
I mean, if it was a real game and they came out and it looked like that, yeah, of course I'd play it. A lot of people, from what I saw some people on Reddit kept thinking they were confusing with Tomb Raider, and they thought that's what it was. I was like, no, that's not.
I thought it was that at first.
Yeah. They presented it. I really liked the way they presented it, where they were kind of like, they were talking about the tech. They were talking about, I think Lumen was the lighting engine, and some other buzzword was the other engine. And then they were showing it off, and it was like, oh, this is like, I'm like, oh, they're going to reveal this as a game at some point. And then no, they showed Unreal Engine 5. I mean, and it was like, oh, cool. There wasn't.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, there was an interview after the demo itself. It was like an hour-long interview with a couple of people from Epic Games with Jeff Keighley, and they were talking about this. And he asked him, he's like, "Is this a game?" And he's like, "It's a playable demo, but it is not a game that we are ever going to sell."
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
How interesting! They made a breathtakingly beautiful tech demo that's not, for or from a game.
So,
how interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask us, all of us here, and hopefully some people in the chat have an opinion about it. But what do you guys think about the difference that Sony and Microsoft are taking to try to introduce and get us going with the new generation of consoles for everything? Because, I mean, Microsoft is at least showing us games that are going to be on the console and giving us quote-unquote gameplay from the last week we've seen. And people have been pretty unhappy about what we've seen, mostly because of the trick that they said it was gameplay. But we know what games are going to be on that system, whereas PS5, we have a small handful of things they've kind of announced and said that is going to be on PS5, and they're not showing us games like that consistently. It's more of, we had that first tech demo where it just showed hardware specs and like way above most people's, way over their heads, and then this stuff came out a couple days ago, and it's showing stuff that could be or would be running on it, but nothing that we would ever be playing. So what do you think is the better approach here as a consumer, as us buying these consoles? What do we like to see more? Do we want to keep seeing more gameplay videos that may or may not be real gameplay of a game that is like a guy sitting with a controller, or do you want to see tech demos over and over and over?
I'll go last because I have a controversial opinion, so I'll let you, Jacob and Zai, say what they want to say on this one.
I mean, I'm either or. I mean, the games that they showed for Xbox, my goodness, I completely blanked out. Series X. They seemed like fine experiences. The idea that they're both the idea that they didn't highlight any of this, like any specific games going this. We'll take an example of one of the games, Scorn, being like, well, here's an example of the game, how it runs on Xbox Series X. Like, I think they missed the mark on that. But at the same time, while looking at the Unreal Engine 5 presentation and saying, like, yes, this is running on a PS5, which is great and all, but whenever they're talking about the technical jargon, I have no idea what they're saying. I'm just, this is very pretty. And then they're talking about, like, well, this and this factors into, like, this being, like, much prettier. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I don't know, that's how I view it. I mean, I'd like to see what the PS5 looks like at this point and what games we're going to be playing on the PS5. But at the same time, what Microsoft showed was not, we'll say, I don't want to say better. Yeah, I don't want to say it's not good, but it's not what I think at this point what we were expecting.
Yeah.
What about you, Zahi? What do you think?
I actually would like to see tech demos. I think I'd prefer to more see that than what we got with the Xbox, the Inside Xbox, for sure. Mm-hmm. Having thought that it was the Unreal 5, it was an actual game, I was more excited about the one game than the entire Xbox show, except for Scorn. I really, really, really want to check that out because I like that kind of like art style and motif. But I mean, take like Scorn out of there and throw some other kind of game in it. I would have preferred the tech demo over that entire presentation. At least, they went into detail and showing exactly what the Unreal Engine's gonna do. It had just that field of view. I thought it was personally more presentable, and it got to the point faster. Look how much more positive receptions come of the Unreal Engine just from a tech demo, to which I even thought it was a real game, rather than a whole slew of random Xbox titles that, didn't really get fully developed. So I'm liking this approach of showing a tech demo, even if it's not full-blown gameplay and here's a controller and we're playing it, just to the extent of what you can do or what you're trying to offer me, I think goes a really long way.
So I'm wondering if now, if right now the way that Sony's playing their cards and they're showing us this right now and how amazing this stuff looks in the Unreal Engine 5 and the PS5.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if now they're going to show gameplay, and we know that the tech demo is always going to be the best looking thing possible,
It's
literally
thing.
built to just be graphically intensively perfect. And there's no balancing, trying to motion or anything. It's really just a simple watch this, right? So now if they have a gameplay come out and it doesn't look that good, are people going to freak out about that? Like a Watch Dogs type of thing where we got that first trailer and everyone was blown away, and all of a sudden you get the game, you're like, what the hell is this? So I'm wondering if maybe Microsoft just took the direct approach, like, here, this is what we have. We're not going to try to oversell it. Stuff's going to look like this. Some of those games didn't look that great, but this is what you get. And I'm wondering if Sony at first is going to be like, okay, yeah, we're good here, and then down the line when they go, okay, here's our games, now people are going to riot. Yeah. My opinion on the approach, I think as a consumer, I'm not thinking about money for the company or anything else, I'm thinking about just me here. I would have liked to see a little of both. I think if you showed a cool tech demo to start off for 20 minutes, whatever, talk about the triangles you got everywhere, and then you show a quick, just montage of 5 or 6 games for 5-10 minutes, and then you can just throw it at everyone at once, going, okay, this is what's coming, this is what we got, and here's what the capabilities that developers could do with it, what we're giving them hardware wise.
Yeah, or you end up going on the route where you're showing the tech demo and then you announce a game while announcing Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah,
I think that would have been, if we can go back, I think that would have been the best sort of way to present it all, for how Microsoft presented their presentation and how Unreal presented theirs, by also stating that this is running on the PS5.
I don't know. I'm curious to know if Epic Games Unreal was going to have this presentation anyway. I'm wondering if they went up to both Microsoft and Sony and said, who wants their name on this?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think Series X and PlayStation 5 are both going to use Unreal Engine 5. I don't think it matters at all who. I think it was more of who wants to give us more money to have their name on this.
Yeah, and it kind of worked out well for Sony, because I've seen, all the other podcasts I listen to and some news, I've seen several people comment and say, it must be great for Sony to be exclusive to have Unreal Engine 5. I'm like, no, I don't think that's the case at all here. And
it's coming to Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
They've said that it's later, but it's coming to Switch. Sony, nothing.
At Quick, you're not really into this whole world of gaming and no deep cuts of Epic Game Stores and all these things.
Right.
You look at this, and you see this engine, and they're advertising it on PS5. You're like, oh, it's coming to PS5. That's it. So you just assume PS5 is going to have this great engine that runs everything, when in reality it's everything can pretty much use it, and anybody can download on the Epic Game Store. I think they have the Unreal Engine on. So I don't know. Interesting. I guess it's hard to give much further than a quick opinion based on what we've seen from any of these things, because they're really feeding us information slowly, and we're getting closer and closer to launches for these things, and I don't know, it's frustrating. Tell me what I'm going to actually be playing.
Yeah. So to answer your question, which do I prefer as whose approach to next gen? So I wrote an article on the website. You guys should check it out. It was posted last week on May 11th. It did very, very well in terms of views. A lot of people read it. Not a lot of people liked it. So it was very divisive and controversial, which seems to be my choice of approach today. I called it "Microsoft is still winning the lead up to next gen." So this was after everything had been seen. We had seen Microsoft's event, which I flat out say is a stumble. They did not address this properly. This was not the way to give our first look at the Series X. It was flat. These are fine games, but this should have been the third or fourth thing they showed, not the first thing. Sony's running out of time. We all think that these consoles are coming out in October. That seems to be where all the leaks are saying. It was in the Dirt 5 press release. I know not everyone reads press releases, but they said it will be on PlayStation 5 and Series X this October. Whether that's a leak or whether they are just flat out saying that, we don't know. But October is less than 5 months away. And Microsoft had a chance after their stumble, after their lukewarm presentation to say, wow, we screwed up. We are sorry. We will learn and do better next time. Take our apologies. Sony hasn't had any events yet. And I think we're all under the assumption that it might go perfectly. And maybe it will. Maybe it'll go perfectly fine and there won't be an issue with the PlayStation 5 reveal. But what if there is? What if they do their first event? And I think their first PlayStation 5 event will be in July, and I'll say why in a bit. What if we're in July and Sony has an event that is, let's say, as bad, as medium as this Microsoft event? Well, they have barely any time to correct course. This is what we're getting. And you look back at the launches you look at failed launches. You look at I don't want to talk about the Wii U in this because that's a whole different story. But you look at the Xbox One. The Xbox One got off to such a horrible start because Microsoft had no idea what they were saying about the thing.
I remember that. That was garbage.
Yeah, and they had no time to correct themselves and to take in that feedback and address things. This was the core functionality of the console was undesirable. Sony, if you go back even further with the PlayStation 3, horrible launch, another bad launch. They had no time to course correct. And I think Sony's kind of put themselves up against the wall here where they are still promoting and selling you PlayStation 4 games. They have two huge games, probably generation-defining games coming out in the next few months with The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Those are going to be blockbuster games for the PlayStation 4, and
Absolutely.
Sony can't show us PS5 games until those are out because those games will look like shit compared to a PS5 game. They are running on PlayStation. Like we saw the Ghost of Tsushima event, which we'll talk about as our last bit of news. It said it at the end, if you notice carefully, it said this was running on a PlayStation 4 Pro, which is a very powerful console, but that's not a PlayStation 5. And they're not going to come out and say, oh, yeah, okay, buy Last of Us Part 2, buy Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, by the way, here's a bunch of PS5 games. You look at the comparison, it's you're going to have all those people who are on the fence of getting these new games say, well, I'm just going to wait for that nicer looking one. And so Sony can't say anything about the PlayStation 5 until, or at least they can't say anything about the PlayStation 5's games until those games are out. And I think that's why everything we've heard about the PlayStation 5 is look at our controller, look at our these patents that we have, look at our SSDs, which are going to be really fast. None of these are games. And I think that is why they were like, well, we want our name on the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo because they're not showing a game. They're not selling you this tech demo.
Exactly.
But it's talking about the future of or what the PlayStation 5 will be.
You think here, okay, after those two big games come out, Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, whatever you say it, they come out, you think we're going to just get an influx of PS5 stuff coming in now because they had their chance to go and buy it.
Yeah.
People are done with PS4. We're closing it out. Let's do PS5. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure the day after Ghost of Tsushima comes out, we'll get PlayStation 5 State of Play or whatever event is happening this day.
That would make pretty good sense why Microsoft has been showing us a little bit more because they don't have anything.
They have
else.
nothing.
The Xbox
they have
One
nothing left, right?
That's it. I think we're done with that.
They've already said that Halo Infinite is coming to Xbox One and Series X. They've already that's their last big game.
I am so mad at that personally. Okay, as a mega Halo fan, I wanted them to make Halo Infinite on the Xbox Series X with the most high-end possible graphics you can do and game optimization and just overall like fully using it. I feel like the version of Halo Infinite I'm going to end up getting for the Series X is going to be just a downgraded port.
What's nice about Microsoft though is they've been very clear about their smart buy or smart thing they've said.
Right?
Yeah, smart delivery. Yeah, buy it. You buy it on Xbox One, get it on Series X.
Yeah. On top of that, it's also on Game Pass. So I mean, it's like if you're getting, everyone out here, if you have Game Pass, you already own Halo, so that's easy already.
Wait, Halo Infinite's coming on Game
It's
Pass?
Microsoft first. What is it called? Not first
Party?
No. They're Microsoft. God dang it, I can't talk. Microsoft Studio product, right? From
Yes.
I forgot the name of the company that's actually doing it, but it should be free.
343i.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's who it is. After that jumble of words, yes, they should be getting it for free on Game Pass, which will be nice.
Yeah. And Microsoft has, as this generation progressed, really shown that they are not interested so much in selling you their games or their consoles. They want you to buy into their infrastructure. They want you to buy into their network, so that when you do buy a game, you get it on everything, and that it's coming back to that launcher conversation, you are on Xbox. They don't care what box you're playing it on. They don't care if you you bought the Xbox One version, you bought the Series. You just bought the game. Like, that's what they want, and they want you to be part of that infrastructure. But yeah, so my thought on it is, I think Microsoft, even though they've stumbled, and don't get me, I think if you look back at we did a ratings on that last event, and I don't think any of us gave it higher than a C or a C plus. It wasn't very good, but they have time to say, hey, we're sorry, shit happens, we'll do better next time. Sony, they have their first. Sony might have their first PS5 event, and this is, again, based on my theory that they can't talk about the PS5's games until after Ghost of Tsushima comes out, in early August. What if it stinks?
I don't know. I mean, if you're right with all this, and they come out, and Sony's holding back some great titles that are going to be coming out, and we finally get to see, all of a sudden, brand new Ratchet and Clank coming out for PS5. I'm in. Sign me up. That's all I'm looking for. I just need one or two good things that are gonna.
They need to show games. They need to show games, and they won't until July 19th is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you're right. It's
July, late July.
Yeah, it's coming, and time is flying fast in quarantine, so we'll be there quickly.
Yeah. It's July 17th. That's 17th. The same day, same day as Paper Mario.
Yeah. Paper Mario will crush it, though. So don't worry about that.
Very excited for that.
Yeah.
Trailer was good.
The trailer was very good.
Surprisingly good. Surprisingly dark.
It was also surprising in the first place. It just came out of nowhere too. Just all
exactly.
It's I don't know. I've got thoughts on Paper Mario. I don't know if we have time to get into Paper Mario today, but yeah, Ghost of Tsushima versus Paper Mario. Chat. What are you guys picking up? Let us know.
Ghosts of Paper Mario.
Ghost of Paper.
Ghost of Paper Tsushima.
All right, and so actually, that's a great segue to the last thing we want to talk about today or this week is the Ghost of Tsushima State of Play. So, so Sony showed about, I think, 19 minutes of gameplay, real, actual gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima. They showed the open world and how you can navigate it and how that works. They showed the two combat styles. So there's samurai style, which is kind of like the honorable, I challenge you to a duel. Duel style, and then there's the more stealthy, dishonorable but assassin style, and then they showed a bunch of cosmetic stuff, which I don't know if we really need to get into all that much, but I mean, whatever interests you guys. So I think we all watched the State of Play. What are your thoughts? What do people think?
I personally really enjoyed it. I am a big fan of Asian-inspired gaming, and this one having been set Ghost of Tsushima, it just looks so kind of crispy. I don't know why. I feel like the whole game, it has the wind blower that's you'd see in a music video. I can just see Beyonce walking. Yeah, I can just see Beyonce walking by and just all the wind in the leaves and shit blowing in the background. I'm like, hell yeah, I can get into this. And I do like the fact that they have different combat styles. It doesn't. I know it sounds weird, but it doesn't. Having beaten the heck out of it, Sekiro. I don't feel like it's very Sekiro-esque, even though it's samurais and ronin and kind of running around doing the honorable duels. Sekiro felt more like a Dark Souls samurai setting. This feels more like a samurai proper game. So that's kind of where I'm taking it from. I'm really liking it.
I'm gonna add on. I watched most of it when they had it live, and I think I don't know. I'm not. It's so hard to put it into words because I'm not like I don't want to say I'm
Right?
not excited because it does look kind of cool in some aspects, but I am scared that it's a very simplistic looking combat style, and it does kind of give me like vibes of Sekiro and stuff like that, which is I know if you've listened to this podcast, I'm not a big fan of those type of games, and I'm almost sad that it's a little bit kind of too serious looking, where it looks very
It does.
it's very dramatic in like a drama way.
It's very
Like,
cinematic.
yeah, that type of
It
thing.
looks sad.
It does. It doesn't look
it-
like
it-
fun. I don't.
Yeah, there's a sadness to the world.
The horse riding stuff looks a lot like what's the Shadow of Colossus type of deal. I got that vibe where
Yeah.
it's a very cinematic look. Like, and not that that's a bad thing, but this studio that they made Infamous, that those games like that to me was always just fun, and I enjoyed it, and the gameplay was
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, story wise
Punch,
wasn't
right?
perfect. It was
Yeah.
stuff like that, but. Now this looks like it's more of like it's so intense, like this is going for some type of indie award type of deal. Like, oh, the story was just changed my life because of all this and the way it's played, and I don't know, it just didn't. I'm not that excited for it. I think that's what it is, and I was hoping for something where I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to play this. Now it's like, maybe I'll pick it up if it's on sale, type of a thing. I didn't see anything that shocked me.
It felt very, like we were saying, like cinematic, like the Order 8, 1866, or if that was the title.
1886.
1886, thanks. Or kind of The Last of Us, where it feels just like a cinematic game where you're kind of progressing through it. I'm not sure if that's kind of accurate, if you guys would feel that.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the motif for most like big budget Sony games recently too. So
Very.
yeah, but I mean, like overall, I don't expect it not to be a bad game. I think it's going to be a really good game. But will it be, the crown jewel to finish off the PS4?
Yeah, this is like,
I don't think so.
This is like it. We just talked about it. Like, this is supposed to be the end of it. Like, this is really what sends this system off. I don't know.
Speaking of which, my guys, is Ghost of Tsushima the last big send-off PS4 has?
It's the last scheduled first-party game from Sony. Yeah.
Yeah, and at this point, I think it'd be too late to announce anything else unless it's like something smaller. But
I think that had the full, and like again, no, we're not discussing spoilers on this show. Don't worry about that. But I think had Last of Us 2's story not leaked, Last of Us 2 would have come out later than it is. I think Sony moved that game's release date up because it's so dependent on its story that they needed to they're like, crap, we need to get this out before everyone knows the game. So, but yeah, to answer your question, it is the last scheduled first party game. I think if anything else does come out, it would be smaller. But so you guys all mentioned something that kind of plays into my thoughts into Ghost of Tsushima after watching the trailer. And yeah, preview. This is going to be my final most controversial opinion of the show. You all mentioned games that it kind of reminds you of. You talked about Sekiro. You talked about
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. You
Infamous.
talked about Infamous, Shadow of the Colossus. And that's when I was watching that state of play, I didn't see Tsushima's personality as much as I saw bits and pieces of other games. So when they were showing in that first segment, when they're talking about the open world and like showing like, oh, like you could set waymarkers and go on there and there's your horse, you go around. I was like, oh, like cool. That reminds me a lot of Breath of the Wild. It's this big desolate world where you it looks like you're making your own adventure and you can set your waymarkers and you go through it and you explore that way. It doesn't look like it'll have the free climbing. That would be very hard in that like heavy suit of like samurai armor. But it is like that part reminded me of Breath of the Wild. And then they got into the samurai combat section, which here's my controversial statement. That combat looks boring. The samurai combat where it's like you're lining up and you like have to do like a button press at the right time to swipe. Oh my god, that looks dull. But that reminded me a lot of like, I want to say, and this is like, I feel bad for not knowing the title offhand, but I want to say Tenchu.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of that and like those kind of one-on-one fighting games set in an action adventure setting. Maybe a bit of Assassin's Creed combat too. But it just looks so dull and so like, all right, you fight one enemy and then you fight another enemy and then another enemy and everyone's just kind of like lining up to fight you. Like, I was like, okay, that looks boring.
I was almost let down. Like, there's not, and this is like completely like way out, but it's like I almost wanted to have like magic powers or something. Like, I just feel like just consistent like sword fighting is, you can only do so much in a game like this. And if it's, and I hate to say it, if it's not going to be a Dark Souls type of game where it has that hardcore gameplay where you're fighting and it's difficult, if it doesn't have that, which I don't want it to, but at the same time, it could get boring swordplay wise. Like, I'm watching the video right now as we're talking about it. I don't know. It's almost like I just don't like the game. I don't know. Again, these are all just really bad opinions on some gameplay. None of us have played it, so maybe
we're judging it by its
maybe this ends up being the coolest game ever, and we all love it. But I don't know. It doesn't. As a consumer that would be wanting to purchase this, what I'm seeing does not make me go pre-order. Can't wait. Talk about it every week. Instead, they're showing a lot of pretty things. They're showing you can change. The I don't know if you guys got to the video where they did like a photo editor where you can literally change the way the game looks and edit the colors and do art and stuff. Like, I mean,
it's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool if you're like a big content creator or something. But not everybody's gonna sit in there and try to. Yeah, not gonna play like go bokeh my photo and make it look nice and like nobody. Who cares?
Yeah,
that's not.
So, like you were saying, Tenchu, by the way, was From Software game, and Sekiro, it's kind of reimagined Tenchu because it's also from Software. But Sekiro, like when I'm watching the kind of combat mechanics, Sekiro is fast and like explosive, and it's not very traditional samurai because you're kind of a, rogue in Sekiro, and it's more about like you're an assassin kind of. So it's just when I'm seeing how kind of slow it feels, a little pedantic, just like I don't know. I'm used to having to fight for my life, and if it's so boring, even Sekiro, like it didn't have magic, quote unquote, but it had like sword abilities and sword arts.
That's exactly what I'm.
Fantastic.
It reminds me of like I keep thinking of Nero or Nero. What is it? Neo. I'm like, I know it's something with an N. Yeah. Where it's like it had like a little bit of like a magic elements to it, but it wasn't like a complete magic based game. But it gave you something a little bit more than just the sword fighting, and I think that was a little bit exactly what it needed. Like Neo 2 came out, and there's even more of that stuff, which is pretty cool. So I don't know. I will hold my full like opinion outside of this little tiny bit we've said, my full opinion of the game until I can actually play it and get an idea, because maybe this is just deceiving and they didn't portray it the right way in these videos, and could be cool.
The other side of it too is because they showed there's two gameplay styles, right? They have the samurai style, and then they have the stealth mode, like the ghost mode, which that reminds me of Splinter Cell now. Where it was like you're like his crouching pose, I immediately thought of Sam Fisher, like crouching around, sneaking around. He shoots the firecrackers, gets the guards to like go over there and then like slash them from above, and like they were pulling me back in with that, and I was like, why isn't this the whole game? Why isn't get rid of the open world, get rid of the other boring looking combat, and just give me a stealthy samurai assassination game? It doesn't if you're going to make an open world and you're going to waste it, don't make an open world.
Yeah.
That was the only part of the game that pulled me in, and I was like, I want to play this game. I don't want to do any of the other bullshit you're presenting.
So I think we have enough time for this last little discussion about this, and we can tie it up to the end. So because Ghost of Tsushima is going to be coming out the same day as the new Paper Mario game that was announced, and we just got a trailer for that, brand new, and they haven't really released a lot for us to give a full discussion of what we think about Paper Mario. It was mostly just a trailer and some stuff and saying it's coming. But based on the very little bit we know about Paper Mario and the little bit more we know about Ghost of Tsushima, and they're coming out the same day, what would you rather get? I would rather get Paper Mario. and it's like the original Paper Marios.
Yeah. I'll say the opposite because of how much we've been burnt on Paper Mario recently. So, they show like a tiny glimpse of the gameplay, which looks kind of interesting because it's like a you have to like gear to make like combos. So like you have like enemies like we'll say like on 4 or 5 different like I don't know how to describe it really, but like Frank, how would I describe that? It's
The ring battle system.
yeah. So like, and then you have to like turn it so that you can like get like
It's like
you
a
can line
3D,
up combos.
2D type of thing.
Yes. So it was kind of like that. That was kind of neat, but that's all we really know about it. But like,
And to add what you said, we've been burnt in the last few. The first two games that came out in the series where it was mimicking like the old Mario RPG stuff were great. I thought that was perfect. As soon as they turned it into more of a semi-turn-based just action game, which just didn't make any sense and took all challenge and thought out of the game altogether, which was the last four, I think, or whatever, were not great. So if they took the same route, and we have no idea because they haven't shown us anything, of the first two games, I'm all in, 100%, give me this game. But if I find out some more info as it gets closer to release, and it's going to be more of this like children like playful color game and you're not really doing much actual thought in the gameplay, I am a Ghost of Tsushima guy, if I could ever say the game code.
Ghost of Sushi.
Whatever.
That would taste good.
All right, what about you guys, Alex and Zahi, real quick?
I would definitely go with not definitely. My area.
Who are you kidding? We're all getting both. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Sure. My expertise or my area in gaming is not very focused on Nintendo. So for that reason, I'm probably going with Ghost of Tsushima. Not to discredit Paper Mario, just I've never really been a big Nintendo person, though I do want to play Breath of the Wild like really, 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 really badly.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'd be getting.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
Nice. So I'm getting both. That's
okay. And
I'm getting
let's pretend
both.
pretend you get one. You get one that day based on what we know right now. What are you getting?
Oh boy! All right, based on what we know today, I would get Ghost of Tsushima.
Really? You're such a Nintendo boy.
That's
Nintendo boy. I'm wearing a Counter-Strike shirt. Come on, it's like the least Nintendo game ever.
From Nokami, not Konami.
Yeah, okay, it's not licensed, man.
Just noticed that.
I did too.
I was been trying to read it the whole time. I'm like, is that me misreading it or is something
I
wrong?
couldn't see what it said because I only saw like the part of it because your jacket was over. I'm like, what is he wearing?
It is the like NES like Konami like box art style. Like if you think of like Contra, like
that's what I thought
Castlevania.
it said, but I was like, I don't think that's how you spell it because I only saw a few letters.
No, it's a fake shirt. So no, I would go with Ghost of Tsushima, and like not because of anything that it's done to sell me on it. The stealth gameplay looks pretty cool. It's that ring-based combat system. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I don't care. I don't care about Paper Mario. Paper Mario, and like you were right, like the first two games were excellent. I absolutely loved Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door is maybe one of my favorite games of all time. I don't think I brought it up when we talked about it, but like I love that game. And then Super Paper Mario came out, and I really liked Super Paper Mario because at the time I thought this was a spin-off. I was like, oh, they're going to do like this one little like action platformer game. It was fun. Like it is like a 30-hour game. Like you get your time out of it. It's fine. And I was like, okay, after this, when they go back to normal Paper Mario, I'll be happy with it. And then they didn't go back to normal Paper Mario. They did Sticker Star.
Sticker Star was one of the worst games I've ever played. Biggest disappointment. Yeah. Like, okay, not worst games I've ever played. Let me take it back. Worst games of my expectations being completely not what I thought they were going to be. I think it was just we all wanted exactly what you just said, Thousand Year Door type of gameplay, and then it was this really childish, crappy game. I don't know.
And then Color Splash on the Wii U. Not a lot of people play Color Splash on the Wii U. Color Splash, if you have played it, it's better than Sticker Star. They fixed a lot of things. But they just screwed something up. They had to have a card-based battle system that you had to paint the cards on the Wii U gamepad every single time. You couldn't just be like, I want to use this card, go. Like, it was dumb.
So actually, okay. So Steve in the chat brought up they changed the model for Paper Mario to avoid it being too similar to Mario and Luigi in the 3DS. That's why they've been different since Super Paper Mario. That's good, but...
Wow,
it's not a good enough excuse for me. I don't care. I don't like these new games. Bring me back to the old stuff that was good.
I will say the Mario and Luigi games, they're great games, but for some reason they don't get the love they deserve. Like they are really, 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 really good Mario RPG games. And I was talking to Jacob about this the other day, going on some really technical rant about how Alpha Dream, the developer that used to make those games, was made up of the people who worked on Legend of the Seven Stars, so Super Mario RPG. They left Square and they started their own company. They started Alpha Dream. So like you play like yeah, you play like Partners in Time, you play Superstar Saga, Bowser's Inside Story. All those games they have that kind of like that core of Mario RPG, and yet for some reason, I don't know, Nintendo or Alpha Dream just kind of was like, just keep making these and then remake them. And it was like, they never ended, and they didn't innovate. And that's why Alpha Dream went bankrupt last year, is that no one bought, well, one of the reasons why no one bought them. The other thing is that they kept putting out on 3DS when the 3DS was already long dead. But yeah, the Paper Mario series is just, they keep trying to like, what if we try this new idea and this new idea? And you know how to make a great Paper Mario game. Either remake Thousand Year Door or just make it with that combat system. And as soon as I saw that ring-based combat system, I was like, I'm out. I don't care for this. I don't like this.
I'm giving some faith. So to wrap up this discussion, I think we don't know, have a good idea about either of these games, Ghost of Tsushima or Paper Mario. I like to build some hype. But you've mentioned Thousand Year Door a bunch of times. I would just love if they had a remake on the Switch for that game. I would be very happy to play that again. So
it's probably one of the funniest games I've ever played.
It's so good.
The writing is spot on in that game. So I mean, that's, you know what, you can't ever take that away from the Mario or the Paper Mario games. They're all funny. They are genuinely funny games with well written scripts. So, but yeah, I think that about does it for this discussion on a whole lot of things. Hope the controversy we stirred wasn't too jarring. So we're going to wrap it up now. So thanks everyone for joining. I hope you had fun. Make sure to tune in every Sunday for more discussions from the Link Cable team.
Yep, and don't forget to send us an email at general.mail@linkcable.com and tweet us at linkcable1 and subscribe to us on YouTube, hopefully soon Mixer and Twitch or any of your favorite apps for podcasts. So we'll be on that for sure. And make sure you listen to our awesome outro music.
Yeah.
Primo. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for chatting tonight. We had some good discussions going on. I tried to bring up as much as I could. Yeah. Next week, we're going to be... Every week, our layout and everything gets a little bit better. So I think next week, we're going to actually have the chat put in the stream. And I have to finish building the layout, but we'll have some gameplay videos of each of the games we're talking about, why we're talking about it. So I think next week will be the week we can finally get that.
Yeah, and over the course of the week, make sure to check back on linkcable.com on the website. We have new content going up every day, so make sure to check out what we're putting up there.
Thanks so much, everyone, for coming and joining us today. We really appreciate everyone being in the audience.
Thanks, guys. All right. See you guys next week.
Take care.
Bye.